Managing retirement stress. Tips for a smooth transaction. Hey, this is Jeff at Below Average. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Usually on my videos, we try to figure out small little savings across your lifestyle that you can in return put in your retirement so you can end up retiring hopefully better without spending one more hour at your workplace, without sacrificing anything drastic in your life. Amazing, simple changes. But what also comes along with stuff like this, especially when you're getting closer to retirement or you're newly in retirement, is the possible stress that can be involved with the thought process. You went your whole life working, putting towards this, not having to worry about it because you're working towards it. Now you're getting very close to being there, or you're just started, or possibly have been retired a little bit. And some of these stress triggers are probably coming into factor. So let's just go over a few things first to help see if we can end up talking about making the transition a little bit smoother. It's never going to be perfect. Everybody's going to be different. But the more information you have, and the more you know about yourself and your family and your financial situation, the smoother it can be and the less interruption. So hey, let's get started. I got some notes here. I'll keep looking down. Apologize for it. Getting too old to remember everything, right? So hey, let's go. Retirement, it is a time of a new beginning. Now, first I'm going to stress that I know of people specifically who retired, went back to work full-time, retired, went back to work full-time, or retired and did part-time work, and or just went from their full-time to part-time for a while, then into retirement. Many different avenues for people, just depends on your situation and scenario. And so I just wanted to throw that out. Not everybody just goes from not working to retirement. Obviously there's a lot that go that route, but we're going to explore a few different things. So hey, the shift from work to retirement can be a major life change. I do know of people that didn't do some preparing and struggled with different things, like eating habits went terrible for them, to the point that once they retired, they really weren't sure how much they should be pulling out from possible retirement packages to help pay bills, to didn't even know exactly what they're going to get for Social Security until they were months out from retiring, and then finally found out. So not enough preparation when all this stuff can be, all the info is out there. It's all for yourself. So you got to prepare for that, so that transition isn't stressful. You got to take that away, especially if you have a spouse yet. You can ease the stress from those things, because it is a major life change for people to end up going from, working their whole lives into retire, especially if somebody worked a lot of overtime. Major change. Time should be an asset, but time might be your enemy unless you prepare for it. So, hey, like I said, many people experience a sense of loss or uncertainty during this transition. You might have had a job that you had some importance there, besides it maybe not a manager, but an engineer, product development, maybe ran the company. You could have been in the trades where you had felt like you maybe had more value than the regular worker. So at times that thought process is going to be tough, that if you go from somebody that was possibly needed or were asked advice about every day, that could go away. So these things you got to realize ahead of time. Get prepared for them. All kinds of things to make the changes, to still keep doing these types of things. As we'll talk in a few minutes in the video, I'll bring up some other ideas that I think that I think everybody who goes into retirement should end up doing first. I mean, or you should plan on this scenario to happen right away. I'll get to that in a few minutes. Obviously, an important reminder in retirement is opportunity. Some people say explore their passions. If you got a lot of money, you're probably doing that. Hey, this is my channel, Jeff at Below Average. I'm talking to probably 80% of the people in the United States or in America, in the world, or whatever. When they retire, their biggest thing is, going to be stay-at-home family. They don't have the crazy money to travel the world or go buy crazy vacation trips and stuff like that. So that explore new passions, maybe. Now, maybe if your passion is spending more time out in a garden, doing something with flowers, your yard, helping people, that stuff, that's a different story. Obviously, and the big one, this is something everybody gets in retirement, and you worked for it. Freedom! That's your freedom. Enjoy. Embrace the freedom. That is one that everybody should be able to at least understand the greatness of not having to wake up and go work for the man, they say, and gotta go to bed early because I gotta make sure I'm good enough for work. Those things are done. Freedom, your choice, your time. This is for you. So hey, let's talk about like navigating some of the, there's a few financial scenarios people talk about. The big one I always mention, and you do now before retirement, if you're not in retirement, do it right now, is create a budget. If you write it down, you can go to a fancy website if you want. They get a little crazy. It's basic stuff, right? Where is all your money going? Every dollar. Where's every dollar going? Keep track on a budget. Every time you spend it, when you get back home, wherever you have those numbers at, you go put them down and keep track. I am approaching close to a year of doing this. So it's going to, and if I suggest you do the same, because it gives you a wide range of little things throughout the year that you might just blow off. Birthdays, extra, taking somebody out to eat because it's their birthday or anniversary, all these types of things. Little things like a little, I got to spend $100 on my car this, whatever this month. All these things can, and hopefully within 1 year can get captured. So you can end up seeing, and you can see all the highs and lows of different things that are going on. Medical can be a big one at times, where you might spend hundreds of dollars more at certain times, and you don't know until you keep track of it. Budget. And I would say while you do this, you make it a habit, do it into retirement. So you can make sure you're staying on track from where you were before, so you can see the difference and make your changes as you keep going. This is simple, but the big thing, you go a whole year and you look at that bottom number where you're at, and is what you try to do is see if that number can match close to what you're going to get in Social Security. So at least worst scenarios, your bills can be covered if it comes to it, if you have no other form of investments, but hopefully you do, and you should. This is why we work at this here on this channel. Below average, we want to take little things through your lifetime, make the $25 changes per month to put into like a retirement account to make the difference when you do retire. A budget is a must. So this is part of navigating your financial, landscape, is the budget. Okay, and obviously consider adjusting your investments and strategy as you get older. As you get close to retirement, it's up to you. It's all your tolerance. You might want to scale back if you're 100% into stocks. If you're in retirement, I'm hoping you're not having to do that in retirement, because that can be a devastation, for you real quick, that it'd be hard to recover from. And obviously, here's one. If you having all these things go through your head, especially if you're working at a place, you should be able to talk to whoever runs your 401k. You should be able to talk to that financial advisor for free. Do not pay. Do not change anything over to somebody new, because all you do is lose money, because they take a fee for all this stuff. So if you're at work, you have a 401k, you should be able to talk to somebody for free about this stuff. Go over some of these scenarios and see what they say, see what kind of information they'll give you. And then the big one, the one I say you should be doing, find people who are older than you that have retired, ask them some general questions. Is it what you thought? Would you change if you could? All these different things you can ask. People that are closer to retirement than you, ask them the same thing. See what's going on. See what's going on in their head. See what they know, who they know might have had scenarios, just to get some of these bugs worked out, because you'll find out that what you're thinking in your head is what most people are. Most people get nervous and scared about the same things. So that's a big one. That helps navigating the landscape of your retirement. Now, obviously, some people say you need to embrace a new lifestyle. This is going to change. Some things are going to change for you. If you're somebody who has all kinds of money, you're gonna go out and got vacation money, you got money to blow. You're in a whole another category. like I said, this channel is usually talking about 80% of probably the people in the world that, or maybe 70%, whatever, that are never going to end up quite being in that scenario. So, but it is a new lifestyle. You don't have to get up and go work for the man. You don't have to be there on Monday. You don't, you got all kinds of different things to think about. So let's look at, there's some people take up all kinds of hobbies. And that would be great if that's what you want to do. For whatever reasons, golf's a big one for men. Women, not sure exactly. Gardening, flowers, different things, family stuff orientated. But those are good things. Those are good things to do. And also activities, anything that you wanted to pursue. If you have enough money and you're looking to still stay somewhat busy, offering your help free to some local facility to help out low income people, or just anything along those lines through church. That would be an easy one to end up finding things for. These things are all great if you're definitely in a position where initially, or maybe money is not, you're doing well enough that you can do some of this stuff. Now I'm looking at a lot of people are probably can be in that, but are gonna be a little bit borderline. And in a little bit, I'll talk about something I think that people should at least look at doing. So here, let's move on. Obviously, stay connected with friends, especially people from work. It's always interesting to hear about what's still happening at work with other individuals that were close to retirement, and after you're gone, or a little bit ways, and just hear how things are going, and people who do retire. Just to see them, just to talk to them. Maybe once in a while, hey, you can get together for a cup of coffee or something, just to talk, see what's going on. And family. This is where your time comes into play. You got plenty of time. You got some family members in the area still. Work on trying to see them. If you never really see them before, work on trying to see them once a month. Start something small. Maybe even once every couple weeks, something like that. Staying in contact is a bonus at that point, folks. Is a bonus. And I mentioned like the volunteer work that can help you stay active and make a difference. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about something else that for people that are that are like where I think I'm gonna be at, gonna be a little bit different there. Okay, so let's look at another one, a big one. This is a big one people talk about, and things that can go downhill. Maintaining physical and mental well-being. So obviously, when you're in that retirement age, if you don't try to stay active or do anything like that, it don't take long. You give yourself 6 months to a year of not doing a whole lot, and you'll find out maybe your bones are stiffening up, things are a little tougher on you. Maybe you're losing a little of that pep. Maybe you're not thinking, you're watching so much TV, or you're not thinking. These are the things you want to change. So some people, regular exercise, maintaining physical health is a great thing by helps reduce your stress. If you are fine on the financial part and you're able to just retire and do well, and you don't mind going out, taking walks, even if you still have a gym membership, these things are great. A lot of people, especially gym membership, but a lot of people don't fall into some of this category. So in a little bit, I'm going to mention a few things, like I said, that I think would be great, that it will encompass a bunch of these things, especially if you don't feel like you're quite financially there yet. So here, we'll just keep moving on. Sorry about this. I know some people talk about different techniques. If you're working out and staying active, staying busy somehow, you don't have to get into the whole yoga and all kinds of other stuff. People, if they want to do it, that's great. That's fine. Solid prayer every day, constantly, is a good thing. You don't have to go on and do some of these other crazy things unless you want to. But we're trying to keep it simple, stupid. That's what we try to do. And obviously, if you are struggling in any of these, you can seek some professional help. I would say this stuff goes away more if you talk to people that are in retirement, asking them questions. You don't have to get specific or personal, because a lot of people don't want to give that up. Just ask them in general. What do you think? Even throw something that you're going through. What do you think? See what they say. Go from there. Can make a big difference. Now, creating a fulfilling retirement. This is where I'll get into all the things I said in the last bunch of minutes about, wait to the end. This is where we'll start getting into this. Everybody has a different version of what they're going to say is a fulfillment in retirement. But like I said, with most people that are going to be watching this video and what I talk about, little savings, because we are individuals that um, don't make a huge amount of money at our jobs, which is 80% or whatever. People paycheck to paycheck, struggle paying their house, losing their house, all these crazy expenses, and the inflation going through the roof over the last bunch of years. All these things kind of can come to a head when you, especially if you have more time on your hands, and you're stressing about this stuff. So let's just do a few things here. I think first, let's talk about this. Hey, retirement is a time to rediscover, like people say, passions and stuff like that, and you can create a life that brings joy to you. These are all happy phrases and saying things, but if you're a little on the edge, or you feel like you are financially, this thing goes away. Your passion, what you just want to be able to make sure your bills are paid, that you're functioning, you're able to keep things going in the house. So throw that other crap out. You know, if you're fine and doing that, that's fine. There's no big deal. But come on, okay. Embrace new challenges and opportunity for growth and learning. This is what I'm going to get into here in a second. And remember, retirement is a journey. It's not a destination. It's just like it took you forever to get there. It feels like now you're in it. You're in your last phase of your life. That's a stressful thing too. But hopefully when you retire, you got 20, 30 years to go, plenty of time. And it's not, and remember, through your whole process of everything, it's okay to make changes. It's okay to think, was that a mistake? Or maybe I just revert and do something different. All great, all fine. Now this is what I'm going to throw in here, what I think that you should be, I think everybody should be doing. And if you're retired now, I'd say think about this. You're getting close to retirement, you definitely think about this. But when you go from working full-time to retirement, I would say have a small part-time job lined up already. And I'm talking small. I'm not talking this 25, 30 hours a week. You can take that and you can go stick it wherever you want. You're going to retirement now. But a small part-time job. I'm going to just say 3 days a week, 10 to 12 hours. Absolutely would be perfect. What does this do? And not a job that you're sitting down. Find something that it creates a little activity. If you're a person that wants to really interact with people, then some form of I would say it's like some form of retail. That's the easiest thing to say. Tons of that stuff out there where you're constantly going to be interacting with people. If that's what you need and that's what you like, now remember, don't worry about how much you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid something. Minimum wage, minimal. You're out there for one, to stay active. This will keep your body and everything flowing. If you're one that doesn't want to go work out the gym, 2-3 times a week, or walk a lot because maybe that hurts, but you can do a part-time job where you're active and talking to people, if that's what you like, absolutely perfect. And if you don't want to talk, I tell you the best thing, if you don't want to spend a lot of time talking to people, you just want to go do something, be a little bit physically active because of a lot of walking, not a lot of stress on your body, but you're doing a lot of movement, and you can do some of this at your own pace, the perfect thing. And these companies are everywhere. Look for a cleaning company you can work part-time for, where you'll fulfill a position that they need drastically, and you're getting fulfilled by, you got something for only a handful of hours a day and only a few days a week. You're making some money. You're staying physically active, which will be great to keep any kind of stress or weight off, or if you want to lose weight, this is perfect. This type of job is absolutely perfect for everybody, and they're everywhere. Spend a little time, just go online, Indeed.com, and probably in your area there might be something else. You can find these jobs. Absolutely perfect. And if you're somebody who might feel like, you know what, I feel like I might be short a few bucks just by working 10 to 12 hours a week, you might be able to take home an extra $100, $400 or so a month. Might alleviate any stress or anything you want to do, or you just want a little of that extra cushion or that extra money, but you don't want to keep working full time. Screw that crap, right? This is, I feel, is one of the most perfect scenarios. And you might be able to work by yourself. You might be able to do everything by yourself at that job. Or you might just work with 1 or 2 other people. It gives you a tiny bit of interaction, but you're still physically doing things, going through the motions, keeping your body strong, maybe keeping weight off by keeping yourself more active, and it gives you something to do maybe 3 times a week. And usually you'll be able to choose, if you look long enough, you'll be able to find something that's going to kind of fit the time of day and the hours and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely perfect. And I would suggest everybody somehow transition from full retirement to something part-time first. Your place of employment might offer something like that. If they do, ask about it. Especially if you're salary. If you're salary and you're a supervisor or something along that lines, you probably can come back and fill in for people who other managers who go on vacation or sick, and you just fill in. So every once in a while, you might have to work a whole week, but more than likely you're looking at, hey, I might, maybe in a month, I might fill in 5, 6, 7, 8 days. You get a little bit of money, you stay a little active, you see some people from your past workplace, you're helping out the company, you're helping out you and your family. And that's perfectly okay. That's actually great for you and the company if they offer that. And if you're just a regular worker there and there's some full and part-time people and you get to that point, ask them. Maybe you could go down to part-time and say, I'm looking to take, can I work 2-3 days a week? Now there you might have to work a few more hours. Who knows? Whatever. But it's something to look forward to because you're comfortable with what's going on. You know where the job is at. You know who's working there. You stay contacted with individuals from there while you're still in retirement and only working a few days or a few hours a week. All those things there will help take stress and anxiety off of you thinking about going into retirement, or if you're already there. If you're definitely already there and you're feeling this stuff, seek that part-time job out now because it will solve a bunch of things. One, a little extra money, talking with other people, being physically active, getting you going in a forward direction. You're helping yourself out, helping your family, and you're helping the company out because they need people just like you. Very dependable people who have worked their whole lives already and know exactly what needs to be done at a job. So hey, please like, subscribe, comment down below. There's going to be people looking at comments, looking for answers. Maybe you'll have the answer to their question. Leave them down below. See what's happening with you. If you have a part-time job, leave down in the comments what you are doing, how many hours, how many days a week, and has that fulfilled the things that I've talked about and brought on up. Please go ahead and do it. Have a great day. See you later. Goodbye.